Assalamu alaikum my dear students. Welcome to your chemistry class of standard 10. Today I will discuss about the exercise of your chapter 8. So let's start the class. At first MCQ. How many kinds of conductors are there on the basis of electrical conductivity mechanism? You know that there are two types. They are electrolytic conductor and electronic conductor on the basis of electrical conductivity mechanism. Now answer question number 2 and 3 depending on the picture. Here this is that picture. This is actually electroplating, where iron is electroplated with nickel, isn't it? So what is the question? The process of the stem does to iron is increased in amount, no. Increases strength, no. Prevents corrosion, increases purity. So answer will be B, prevents corrosion. Now follow the 3 number MCQ questions. In the above picture, nickel is corroded. Yes, nickel is corroded because from nickel, this is nickel rod and this is iron rod. This is used as anode and this is cathode. Now when electricity is supplied, then it will be positively charged, it will be negatively charged. So what will be the reaction here? Nickel, and there is used as electrolyte nickel sulfate solution. That means there is present nickel ion and sulfate ion. So when nickel from this nickel rod releases 2 electrons and converted into nickel ion, then this nickel ion reach to the cathode and accept those 2 electrons and converted into nickel atom and deposit on this iron bar. So here nickel rod is gradually corroded. That means destroyed means corroded, ক্ষয় হয়ে যাচ্ছে. So nickel is corroded. Iron acts as anode. No, here iron bar acts as cathode. Exchange of electron occurs. Yes, exchange of electron occurs because here electrons are released and in this cathode electrons are accepted. So answer will be 1 and 3. 1 and 3, C number. Which of the following act as an oxidant in the dry cell? You know that in dry cell, zinc container act as anode and carbon rod act as cathode. Mainly carbon rod act as conveyor and manganese dioxide act as oxidant. Now what is the name of the process of giving metallic coating on a different metal through electrolysis? Electroplating. Now follow the 6 number MCQ. Which of the following is used for striking a nucleus during a nuclear reaction? Yes, you have seen in nuclear reaction atoms are bombarded by using neutron, isn't it? Here you can ask me, that means why only neutron is used here for bombarding? Why not proton or electron? Yes, electron cannot be used, but proton also not used here because proton is a charged particle, but neutron is a chargeless particle. And generally in nuclear fission reaction, slow neutron, neutrons are 2 types, slow neutron and fast neutron. So here slow neutron is used to occur the nuclear fission chain reaction. When neutron strike an atom, then it converted into more lighter nucleuses and also from there produces more neutrons which are again strike another atom, you know. So like this way actually chain reaction is initiated by striking neutron. Electrolysis of an aqueous solution sodium chloride with platinum electrode produces sodium chloride aqueous solution. So hydrogen gas, chlorine gas, sodium hydroxide solution, all are produced here. Answer will be 1, 2, 3. Now follow the creative questions. What is electroplating? You know the answer. why a salt bridge is used in an electrochemical cell? You know that salt bridge is used in an electrochemical cell for balancing the positive and negative charge on both electrolytes, and to continue the to continue the process for long time. Salt bridge is used. Main function of salt bridge is that to balance the deficiency of positive and negative charge on both electrolytes. In the stem, the second reaction is not a chemical reaction. Explain what is the second reaction here? Uranium, and this is actually nuclear reaction, isn't it? So why this is not chemical reaction? I have explained in my lecture. The chemical reaction means where electrons from valence shell actually takes part in reaction, isn't it? Either these electrons are accepted or released from the valence shell. So, but in nuclear reaction, actually electrons haven't any role. Actually here nucleus is transformed into another nucleus. In the mentioned reaction, we can see here nucleus of uranium striken by neutron converted into different more nucleus of smaller mass, isn't it? Barium, krypton, and also more 3 neutrons are produced and huge amount of energy is produced. So actually this reaction is not the reaction of electron. This is the reaction of nucleus, where one nucleus is transformed into another nucleus. For this is not called a chemical reaction. This is actually a nuclear reaction. Compare the reactions 1 and 3 in terms of production of energy. Number 1 reaction is petroleum combustion reaction of petroleum, and number 3 reaction is a substitution reaction. Although this substitution reaction is a exothermic reaction because here heat is produced, but we know that combustion reaction is exothermic and also huge amount of heat energy is produced from this combustion reaction. And also here reactants, combustion reaction, the reactants is a flammable substance. You know that petroleum is a highly flammable substance, and this is actually mixture of hydrocarbons. So they are actually used as fuel because from this combustion reaction, from the reaction of petroleum, combustion reaction of petroleum, huge amount of heat energy is produced, which is used actually in different purposes, in different industries or in vehicles, etc. So for this we can say that from equation 1 the amount of production of heat energy is so much than that of equation 3, because this is an exothermic reaction. Heat is produced but its amount is so less because this is not a combustion reaction. This is just only an exothermic reaction. Now what is a metallic conductor? You know that metallic conductor, actually all metals are metallic conductor. Why is acidic water called an electrolytic conductor? Explain. Because only water, this is not electrolytic conductor. Electrolytic conductor means the electrolyte means actually the solution or melted state of any ionic compound or solution of an ionic compound which is allowed to pass electricity inside them, isn't it? They are called electrolytes. So electrolytic conductor means when electrolytes through which electricity can pass. Why? Reason, its reason is for the presence of ions, isn't it? Because inside the electrolytes there actually moves free ions which are responsible for conducting electricity. Here we know that pure water is a covalent compound, so inside the pure water there is not present any ion because covalent compound cannot be ionized. But here acidic water, acidic use of acid, if you use a drop of few drops of acid such as sulfuric acid, then this acid just helps that water to dissociate, degree of ionization, that means to ionized water into hydrogen and hydroxyl ion. This acid is used. For this it is said that acidic water called an electrolytic conductor. That means pure water cannot conduct electricity, but acidic water can conduct electricity, because due to use acid, water is the degree of ionization, that means the water ionizes more amount. For this, acidic water is called electrolytic conductor. Like this way you have to explain. Explain the reaction that occurs in an anode of the above cell of the picture. Here this is the electrolysis of molten magnesium chloride. That means there is magnesium ion and chlorine ion, there is used battery, and there is 2 electrode. So you have to explain the reaction that occurs in an anode. So when you supplied electricity due to using this battery, then one electrode will be positively charged and another electrode will be negatively charged. Now positively charged electrode is called anode and negatively charged electrode will be called cathode. Now anode attracts anion, that means chloride ion from the electrolytes reaches to the anode and releases its electrons and converted into chlorine gas. This is the anode reaction actually. And in cathode, this is it attracts cation, that means magnesium ion reaches to the cathode and it accepts electron which are released from chlorine, accepts electron and converted into metallic magnesium. So here anode reaction will be what? Chloride ion releases one electron and converted into chlorine atom, and in the next time 2 chlorine atom combine together and form a chlorine gas. It will be the anode reaction. Explain the necessity of electricity supply to the illustrated reaction. That means why you have to supply electricity in this electrolysis process. Yes, because if we don't supply the electricity, then these 2 electrodes will not be charged, and in that time this electrolysis process will not be happened. When we supply electricity, then the main reason to supply electricity is to be charged to these 2 electrodes. So after supplying electricity, either out of 2 electrodes, one will be positively charged and another will be negatively charged. Now it can increase, or it can draw the attraction between cations and anions. Positively charged electrons attracts negatively charged ion, that is anion, and negatively charged electrons attracts positively charged ion, that is cation. So for this, for the drop attraction and for occurring the reaction, that means magnesium chloride is converted into magnesium and chlorine gas. For occurring this reaction, actually electricity supply is must. Electricity supply is necessary. Like this way you have to explain. Now the last creative question is that electrolytic cell and galvanic cell. What is an exothermic reaction? You know. Why are some drops of sulfuric acid required in the electrolysis of water? You know very well. After adding acid, actually the ionization of water is increases, degree of ionization increases. For the sulfuric acid is used here, and when the water is ionized, in that time when you done electrolysis process, then from water you will get hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. Now describe the formation of number 1 cell, that means number 1 cell, electrolytic cell. So electrolytic, how can you form electrolytic cell? For this you have to need a electrolytic, at first electrolytic cell, that means a pot which act as electrolytic cell. Then you have to use one electrolyte, then you have to set 2 electrodes which are connected with a battery by using electric wire. Like this way you have to form a electrolytic cell. Then you have to draw the figure and explain. Analyze the possibility of electricity production through cell number 2. Yes, we know that galvanic cell is a electrochemical cell where chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. How? Because inside the galvanic cell, when chemical reaction occurred, then for the redox reaction actually there is exchanged electron, and for exchanging electron, the electron is flowed from anode to cathode, and we know that flow of electron means electricity. So when the electron is flowed from anode to cathode due to redox reaction, then there is produced electricity like this way. And you have to draw some circuit, galvanic cell, and you have to explain how electricity is produced from galvanic cell. So my dear students, I hope you can easily give answer of this question and this type of another questions. So if you have clear conceptions about all terms or topics of this chapter, then it will not be a problem to give answer of any type of questions. For this you have to read more and more of this chapter and follow my video lecture. So today up to this, thank you, goodbye.